Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, guys. How are you doing? Okay, we're gonna wait a little bit until the rest of the group is here. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you the content for today. Please, Marita, remember we have to have our cameras on, and this class is being recorded on YouTube Live. Okay. Okay. Just a reminder. This week's calls are going to be tomorrow from 3 to until 5 p.m. So please let me know if you can make it tomorrow. With you guys, we can have two calls in one meeting, which is going to be 40 minutes. It's 20 minutes per call, okay? So we're going to, hey Camila, welcome.
Saturdays or after
Okay. So today we're going to start with the listening. Anyone have seen this section yet, right? This is new for all of you guys, right? Just making sure because I have two groups here, two different groups. Hi, Shanique, welcome. Okay, guys, we're going to start. And as I mentioned before, this is going to be the first class for the listening. And it's going to help us a little bit to understand a little bit better the reading part, okay? Because in some way they are a little bit connected. Okay, I think someone had some trouble. But okay, we're going to start. Okay, first we're going to start with a structure for the listening. In this part, we're going to get either 3 or 4 lectures. In these lectures, if anyone can what a lecture means, do you understand this word? Lecture. Does anyone know what means? Hi, Christian, welcome.
Hi, teacher. Thank you.
Does anyone know lecture? What do you think, guys, is a lecture? What it sounds like?
It's like a conference, like talk presentation.
Yes, great. Actually, that's exactly what it means, Shanique. Thank you. It's basically what I'm doing right now. So it's something that usually a teacher, a professor, or sometimes someone that has prepared an information for a public is going to say or do. Okay. So you're going to get for the listening basically 3 or an extra one. Okay, and you're going to get 6 questions per each lecture. Okay, and also you're going to get 2 or 3 conversations, and each conversation is going to have 5 questions. Okay, so basically here we have two different types of listenings. Okay, a lecture and a conversation. Okay, for lectures I'm going to have 6 questions per each lecture, and conversations I'm going to get 5 questions. Okay, hi Camila, welcome. Please turn your camera on. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're seeing the structure of listening. Okay, so basically in these listenings we're going to listen information about a topic, and it's never going to use any slang. Does anyone know what slang means? What do you think? What is a slang?
like a more casual way of speaking.
Yes. Can you give me an example, Christian, of an slang?
Like when you talk about when you say because, and in slang you don't say all the word, you say cause or something like that.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. So you are not going to listen nothing like that, like even the word like, or gonna or that kind of words are not going to hear. We're going to listen some more proper words. Okay, even in the conversations, we're not going to listen any slang. Okay, so here for the reading, this is a table that shows the reading and the listening timing. Okay, so we have the reading here. We have, if you remember, 18 minutes to work in each passage, right? Remember, we get, well, we get three, or we can get an extra one, right? And each of them, each passage is going to get 10 questions, and in total we're going to get 30, unless we get an extra one, right? And total time to work on the reading will be 45 minutes. In the listening, we get no different five different tasks. Sorry, we're gonna get two conversations and three lectures. Okay, so for the conversations, we're gonna have five questions, and for the lecture, six. So we just multiply it here, and we get the result of how many questions in total we're going to get. Okay, so the time is no approximately 54 minutes per reading for the reading part of the section, and for the listening 41. Okay, so why I'm showing this to you guys, because this is supposing that we don't get any extra, right? But we're going to get an extra one always, but it's going to be or in the reading or in the listening. Okay, so let's see how it can be. This extra task is going to be an score. So they basically choose one of the tasks that we get, and they're going to just take it out. It's not going to get a score at all. So in this case, here we are getting an extra underscore listening. So for instance, in the listening, if we get an extra one, we're going to get one more than in the previous one that we saw. We're not going to get two conversations and three lectures. We're going to get one more in each. So three conversations and four lectures. Okay. So obviously the questions, they maintain the questions of per each type of task, but the amount at the end is going to be more, right? So instead of having 10, I'm gonna get 15. Instead of having 18, I'm gonna get 24. Okay. That's in the case of the listening. But in the reading, if you remember, if we get an extra one, well, instead of 30 questions, we're going to get 40. And obviously the time is also going to increase, right? So that is just to you guys understand that we are going to get an extra underscore or reading or listening, but that doesn't depend on anything that we do. It's basically luck, okay? And we're going to continue, okay? Okay, so the total time for the listening, it's 41 minutes, okay? The instruction, and always remember, the time is not going to divide by the task that we get. Is always going to be in total, okay? We are going to be the ones that we're going to be organizing our times, okay? So it's going to be the total. Time for instruction is going to be 3.5 minutes. Time for the lecture and the audio, 21 minutes. Time for answering questions, 16 minutes. And well, maybe the answering time, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's enough time to answer all the questions. Okay, so this is just for you guys to know how it's organized, okay? But remember that you cannot go back. Okay, once you answer a question, you cannot go back. So please don't get stuck. Just continue and answer the best you can do. Okay, so we're gonna see the types of questions that we get for this section. Can anyone tell me if you remember how many types of questions do we get for the reading part? Does anyone remember? Or do you have an idea of how many types of questions do we get?
We have 10 types.
Yes, great. You're actually right. We're going to review very quickly, okay? Oops, my bad. Okay, great. Let's go. So we start with the vocabulary question. Then we go with the detailed or factual question. Then we have the except question, inference type of question, purpose or function question, paraphrase question, reference, insert text question, summary, or category. Okay, so we have 10 different type of questions for the reading. Now for the listening, we have four. Okay, we're going to start with the first one. This one is always going to be the first question. It's basically going to ask us about the main idea. If that's the idea, we're going to get it from the title or from the first part. Okay, so for this, it will be important to listen the question, right? And it's always going to be something like this. What is the main topic of the conversation? What does the professor mainly discuss? Now we have some keywords that are going to give us an idea. But this one is always going to be the first question. So the first question you get, always remember, it's going to ask us about the main idea. And where do I get that? In the first part of the listening. It's going to be also something like what is the main purpose, or why does the student go to speak to about, And like I said before, the main idea is stated in the beginning of the conversation. Okay, so always to answer this type of question, pay attention to the beginning of the or beginning or introduction of the listening. Okay. Any questions until here, or whatever was said before? Do you have any questions? Sorry, I haven't asked before. Okay, we're gonna continue. So this one is the first type of question. Okay. Now the second type of question is going to be function and organizational question. Here we're basically going to get no function and or organizational. Usually a function is going to ask, I'm gonna show everything, okay? A function is going to ask no, why does. It's going to usually get the word why. Why does the the person, the woman, the teacher, the professor, I don't know, said this, okay? And a key tip, no, that we're getting this type of question is that we get to listen the audio again here. Okay, so when you get to listen again, you're going to get a function question. So basically here you have to understand the context of the conversation, and also we're gonna learn in a little bit how to take notes, but we can go back and review a little bit, no, to answer the question. So it's basically going to ask, no, a piece of information. Okay, why is happening this? Why they are saying this? Why they are mentioning this? Okay, and you always get to listen the audio again, but this is the only question that you get to listen. You're usually going to get this question once, okay? And in the previous question, the main idea one, you're also going to get one of that type of question, okay? So let's continue. Organization, sorry. It's going to sound something like how. How is the lecture organized? No. Um, your notes also is going to help you to answer this or to try the answer easily. So it's not very hard to answer this, but we have to have in both cases great notes. Okay, we're gonna practice about that in a little bit. Any questions until here? So basically for function, we get why. Why is this person saying this? Now we have to answer with a specific information, or they're going to ask us how is the lecture organized. Then we can go and check our notes to answer this. Okay. Next, let's go to the next type of question. This one is the attitude and inference type of question. Basically here for the attitude, we won't be able to listen again, but it's basically going to ask us how is that said, or what was the context of the conversation, no, or try to get into the speaker's head. So it's basically going to try to see the person or the professor, the woman, no, attitude towards the topic that they are talking about. They are in favor, they agree, they disagree, they're complaining. It's going to talk about the person, the attitude of the person that is speaking. Okay, the speakers. And then we get inference. Inference is basically to try to figure it out information that is not being said, or basically read between the lines, right? It's basically going to be something like from the lecture, what can be inferred. No, if you remember, we have this type of question in the reading too. So the these are keywords that help us to find this type of question. Or what does the professor imply? No, infer, imply, or what will the student probably do is also going to ask us maybe about next step or about the future. Which of the following is the most likely to happen? Okay, so it's going to talk about, no, it's going to ask something that is not necessarily being said. And to answer this type of question, we basically have to use our logic to answer, to follow our instincts, basically. Okay? The information is not going, you're not going to find this answer in your notes. Okay? You have to figure it out, this answer. Okay? Based on what you were listening. And in inference, we should read the question carefully. We have to answer accordingly of what you have been asked to respond. We have to try to mention topics or details from early in the recording. Okay, always try for the inference type of question, try to remember or check on your note the details, and no, avoid falling into the wrong detail trap. Sometimes when we are trying to answer something, uh, sometimes we get too into some details that might not necessarily be helpful when we're taking our notes, because we also have to read them later on, right? The best way here is try to summarize the information, but not to get stuck in some parts or in examples. So we should try to see the whole thing and choose what things we're going to take notes of and which ones are not necessarily helpful. Okay, because I'm not sure right now how long it is, but it's not going to be like 1 minute. It's a little bit longer. So just so you know that it's a lot of information that you're going to listen. Okay, not too much, but enough to have a lot of notes. Okay, sorry, I'm jumping to the next. Okay, so here basically those are the type of questions that we got for the listening. Do you have any questions here? Or anything that is not very clear, maybe? Is clear?
Paola, one thing. You showed us right now almost 5 type of questions: function, organizational, attitude, and inference. But we are going to have 6 questions per lecture, right? So what type of question is going to be more frequent?
Uh, it's luck basically. You're usually going to get one. Where is it? Sorry. Main idea. You're always going to get one, and it's going to be the first question. And then here you're probably going to get one, but it's really luck. You can get one uh, of each, or just one, and then the ones that you're going to get more is attitude and inference. Okay, so this is probably going to be the 80% of the questions that you're going to get, and here you might get one or two tops, and this one just one. But in each of the cases, either if you get a conversation or a lecture, it's going to be something like that.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Now we're gonna jump to the page of the executive English page. Have you checked, guys, the page? I'm gonna show you right now. You can be honest. Have you checked the page or not yet? Does anyone have checked the page? Diego, Christian, yes? Shanique, have you checked the page yet? Marita, Andrea.
I
Okay,
haven't yet.
okay, don't worry. Now we're going to see where we should get into and try to review the important content that was made for you guys. Okay, so here is the main page, right? I'm pretty sure that most of you have taken the level test, and then here we have some windows, and we are going to go to apoyo académico, and we're going to check the information, the first link. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the opportunity to ask you guys: have you taken the connectors test or quiz? Does anyone have taken?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Do you have information about this? Does anyone have any idea about that test?
I took it.
Okay, and how was it?
I passed it, but with a low note.
Okay. Thank you, Diego. Basically, here, what you have to do to take this test or quiz is to review the 3 videos, and they're going to show you a lot of connectors, which basically help you to improve or grow your vocabulary. And this is especially helpful for the speaking and writing. So if you can start checking, and well, also basically for all the sections, if you're reading and you find an information or a word, a connector word, because they use a lot of connectors, and you don't know the meaning, well, it's probably going to be harder for you to understand that passage, for instance, right? So my advice for you guys will be to check the connectors, the 3 videos, and I hope it's very helpful. And try to get familiarized with as many information as you can. Okay. Um, with that being said, here we have this Anki. Does anyone know what this is, Anki? Have you heard about this maybe, or it's completely new? Okay, I'm going to guess that is something that you haven't heard. Okay, it's great. Don't worry. We're going to review a little bit and see why it's important for you guys to start using it as soon as you can. So we're gonna click on here, and depending on well, basically we're going to get here a little introduction of what is the Anki, that how we get an account, and then to download the app, or you can you can just create an account and use it on your Explorer. So this is important, and we're gonna see a little bit so you understand, but it's important for you guys to start using it. Okay, let's see why.
Hola a todas y a todos. Este es un video tutorial sobre la aplicación Anki. ¿Qué es Anki? Anki es una aplicación que te permite memorizar diferentes tipos de palabras a través del uso de tarjetas o flashcards. Esta aplicación es muy importante, en especial en el aprendizaje de algún idioma, como por ejemplo el inglés, ya que te permite memorizar diferente tipo de vocabulario, preposiciones, pronunciación, gramática y otros. Esta aplicación se la puede utilizar ya sea en la computadora o en el celular. Esto te permite que puedas memorizar tus tarjetas o flashcards de manera fácil y sencilla y en cualquier lugar.
Okay, so basically for this, what we need to do is to create an account and then download the app. Or if I want to just use it on my Explorer, that's fine. But I need an account, okay? Which is very easy. You can review how to do it, and you can create an account later, and or download the app if you want to, because it's going to be synchronized. Also, if you use it in your computer, it's going to get synchronized with your cell phone, and you can practice. No, you can continue to practice in any advice that you can imagine. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the app. I download the app, and I have it right here. And this is the app. So here you have the opportunity, and also, but I'm gonna go back. Sorry, but also you have here and I think it's this one. This one, yes. How to download content to put it on the app, and this one is the one that is prepared from Executive English, um, and it's going to help you to target some sections. For example, vocabulary. Well, it can be helpful for basically everything, right? Then we have spelling. This will be especially helpful for listening, right? The one that we're practicing right now. Then connectors and transitions is going to be helpful for speaking and writing. Then we have synonyms, count, making non-count, non-count, countable, etc. Okay, so we have a lot of information, right? But I'm going to show you the one that is helpful for this section. And well, that's the app. I'm gonna go back, and that's the one that the content that I have downloaded so far. And I want to show you the spelling. Okay, you can download it when you can. And basically here what we're going to get. According. Well, it just jumped into it. But basically here we're going to listen to different proper words, and we basically have to guess why or how they're spelled. So for instance, if we listen this word, can anyone tell me how to spell it? We're gonna listen. Okay, maybe Andrea. Okay, can you help me to spell this word? According. What do you hear? According.
According, ACCORDI, and accord. I don't know if according or accordingly, but that's the beginning.
According. Okay. I think it goes like that. Let's see. According. Yes. So we are right. Okay. So basically that's how we do it. Okay. So we're going to get a lot of words, and this is going to be a way to practice, because when you have the listening, you're going to get a lot of words, and sometimes they're not pronunciated very strong enough, maybe, or not too loud, and we have a lot of words that we have to pay attention, right? We are going to start taking notes, and it can be a little bit overwhelmed for you guys. So this way we can try to practice some words separately, and also practice a little bit in our spelling. Okay, and it's also helpful to grow our vocabulary, right? So accordingly, what do you think it means? Well, according, sorry. What do you think?
De acuerdo o según, ¿no?
Yes. So a lot of these words, proper, connectors, sounds, or that have the same meaning as in Spanish, right? But some of them are tricky. So even when you think it might mean something, it means something completely different. Okay. So I invite you guys to start practicing with Anki, and I'm gonna show you again. You have a lot of useful content that you can download from the app, and well, just check the what's the word? Check the tutorial to see how to do it. It's not hard, but you might get a little bit lost in the beginning if you're not very familiarized with. But okay, that will be the advice for you guys for this part. Any questions until here? Are we good? Okay, great. We're going to continue, and now we have to let me check. We're going to see. Oh no, okay. We're going to listen to an audio, but first, let me show you. I apologize. Where is it? We're going to see. We're going to practice a listening exercise. Okay. We're not probably going to answer all the questions. We're going to see some of the questions, but we're going to practice, and I'm going to invite you guys to please go and find a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. It's up to you. And I'm going to give you some tips to take some notes, okay? So maybe you can give us a minute so you can go and find a piece of paper. Puede ser una hoja bond o carta, depende de ustedes, que esté en blanco, y un lápiz o un lapicero. Y vamos a hacer el ejercicio de tomar nota, ¿ok? Okay, guys, please, vamos a traer una hoja de papel. Puede ser reciclada, no hay ningún problema, no tiene que ser blanca. La mía es reciclada, por ejemplo. ¿Por qué les pido la hoja de papel? ¿Por qué no trabajamos directamente en la compu? ¿Por qué? Porque en ambas oportunidades, ya sea si van a realizar el TOEFL Home Edition o van a hacerlo o realizarlo en una institución, en ambos casos van a trabajar escribiendo, ¿no es cierto? Entonces, si trabajan en el Home Edition, por ejemplo, lo recomendable es que con hojita, ustedes, porque se recomienda que utilicen sino un pizarrón pequeño, pero se recomienda que utilicen una hoja en blanco y la cubran con un plástico, esos plásticos que generalmente se utiliza para algún documento que queremos que se mantenga intacto, no sé si me entienden, pero y utilizar un marcador para ir anotando los apuntes. Entonces nosotros fácilmente lo podemos borrar y continuar trabajando en el mismo. Y un marcador de punta delgadita para que igual podamos tomar la mayor cantidad. Es más cómodo escribir en un papel con un marcador, o un marcador en este caso, porque podemos escribir la mayor cantidad. En cambio, en un pizarrón, ¿no? Tan común, digamos, para nosotros trabajar en eso. ¿Okay? Entonces vamos a esperar si es que hay alguien más que falta. Si estamos todos listos, are we ready to start? Okay, I think we're all here. Okay, great. Okay, so I was starting to explain that. How many of you guys are going to take the Home Edition TOEFL? Can you let me know, please? Okay, Christian, someone else? I think no one else. Okay, so Christian, for example, for you, a great idea for you to take the notes while you're taking, because you're going to have someone that is going to be looking after you, right? While you're taking your test, it will be to have a piece of paper, and for you guys, for all of you, because even when you are going to take it in, I don't know, the CBA or whatever, todos vamos a recibir papel, ¿no es cierto? Entonces, lo ideal es que agarremos y la hoja la vamos a doblar en 4. ¿Ya? Entonces, vamos a dividir en 4. Y de esta manera, cuando tengamos la hoja, ya vamos a tener la división, ¿no? Para ir organizando nuestras ideas. Es una forma sencilla para tener un orden, ¿no? Y ir viendo una secuencia. Mientras yo voy escribiendo, obviamente llego hasta el final, vuelvo y voy a ir escribiendo, puedo llenar toda la hoja y pedir todas las hojas necesarias que yo necesite durante el examen. Pero eso me ayuda a igual mantener ideas claras y de una manera visual, ¿no? Yo poder ver, ¿no? Ideas concretas y ir creando y como un orden, una lógica total. ¿Ok? Entonces, esa es la primera recomendación. La segunda es, por ejemplo, para que en el Home Edition, ¿no? Hacerlo, ponerle el plástico este transparente para que tú puedas escribir con un marcador delgado los apuntes y fácilmente con un pedazo, un Kleenex, un papel higiénico lo limpies y puedas seguir para tus siguientes lecturas, ¿ok? O conversaciones. El siguiente es tratar de escribir sin vocales. Entonces, por ejemplo, a ver, si digamos tenemos, a ver, una palabra larga, a ver qué palabra puede ser, a ver, biology. Si tenemos la palabra biology y quisieran escribirla sin consonantes, o sin vocales, perdón, sin vocales, ¿cómo lo harían? ¿Qué escribirían? B, L, G.
Bueno, BLGY.
¿No es cierto? Y ya eso más o menos nos da una idea, ¿no es cierto? Y no es lo mismo escribir la palabra completa biology, que solo escribir las consonantes, es la mitad, prácticamente corto el tiempo a la mitad, ¿no es cierto? Entonces, ese es el ejercicio que quiero que hagamos ahora. Espero que todos ya tengan sus hojas. El ejercicio es ir tratando de ir escuchando y acuérdense igual los tipos de preguntas, acuérdense cuál es el primer tipo de pregunta, por si acaso, para tal vez de prestar atención un poquito más al principio. Y vamos a ir escribiendo, tratando de obviar todas las vocales y tratando de mantener ideas cortas y tratar de mantener una idea por cada cuadro, una idea distinta, ¿ya? También la recomendación es tratar tal vez de no ahondar mucho en los ejemplos, ¿no? Y lo voy a mencionar o algo, no que sea muy breve tal vez, pero no es completamente necesario. Ok, entonces vamos a hacer ese ejercicio, chicos. Vamos a escuchar este audio y vamos a tomar apuntes y luego posteriormente vamos a ver qué preguntas tenemos para ir identificando más o menos cómo es, ¿no? Un tipo simulación de este tipo. Ok, entonces si están todos listos, we're going to start. And we're going to listen. This is how you're going to see it. It's going to be very similar to this. It's going to go something like review the following passage and continue. Listen to a part of a lecture in a biology class. It's always going to be a class about any random topic. Okay, for example, this is a lecture, right? This is not a conversation. This is going to be a person talking about what? Biology. Entonces, we already have the title here, right? We already know that this is about biology. So let's start. And let's see.
Listen to part of a lecture in a biology class.
All organisms need energy, right? All living things have to consume energy-dense biological materials, otherwise known as foods, in order to function, grow, and maintain healthy cells. The food that is ingested by the organism has to be digested in order to be absorbed and effectively used for whatever bodily process is needed. So let's compare digestion in humans and something pretty far removed. Single-celled organisms called protozoa. Both protozoa and humans ingest substantial amounts of food material and break it down into 3 parts of digestion. I mean, they share the same basic phases. The 3 parts of digestion are mechanical, chemical, and absorption. First, let's take a look at the 3 different parts of digestion that are common to both protozoa and humans. For many organisms, mechanical digestion involves the breakdown of large food particles into smaller and more manageable sizes. These food particles keep their original molecular composition, their original chemical makeup, when they're broken down into smaller particles. That's important because at this early stage, there's only minimal nourishment to be drawn from most foods. But the smaller physical size assists enzymes, which are these chemicals that break down food. The smaller size of whatever's being ingested helps the enzymes to gain better access to specific molecules in the food. Smaller pieces means more surface area, so material can be broken down more quickly. That's the chemical digestion process, the work of enzymes. Once the food material is broken down into its core components, the building blocks of sustenance, smaller nutrients can be absorbed in humans by cells that line the gut. We'll come back to that in a moment. Finally, the absorption stage of digestion occurs when these nutrients are taken up and directed to different parts of the organism, along with minerals and vitamins that are connected to essential enzymatic activity. So how do protozoa and humans apply these three stages of digestion differently? That may seem like a silly question because clearly single-celled creatures don't have digestive tracts. Instead, protozoa create an internal vacuole to ingest and digest food. You can picture the vacuole as a kind of bubble within the cell, or maybe a subunit. It's even bound by a cell membrane that protects the vacuole like a skin. In the case of an amoeba, one type of protozoa, temporary cell projections extend and contract, engulfing the food particles into food vacuoles. That's the mechanical stage of the process. Digestive enzymes are then sent in. That is, they're released into the food vacuole as part of chemical digestion. This helps to break down the contents of the vacuole into those simpler molecules, which then go through the absorption stage and enter the protozoa's main cell structure. If the food particle that is ingested carries anything unusable or unnecessary, it's expelled from the vacuole. Let me give you another example. So there's this protozoa, a single-celled organism called Paramecium that sweeps up microscopic food like a vacuum cleaner. It sucks the food up into oral grooves and the lower end of the gullet, where a food vacuole is created. This is the mechanical phase. The food vacuole eventually travels, the whole vacuole moves toward the anterior end of the cell, away from the front of the Paramecium. Chemical breakdown of the food begins, and the essential nutrients are absorbed. Just like before, any waste is expelled. The human digestive system, on the other hand, is made up of a sort of canal for the food to move through the body. It consists of the oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and rectum. And there are a number of glands lining that canal, including the wall of the stomach, intestines, pancreas, and liver. It's not as simple as sweeping up food. Mechanical digestion for humans involves crushing and liquefying food. That's chewing for the most part, but also contractions of the stomach and small intestine. But believe it or not, chemical digestion actually begins in the mouth, our spit, saliva. It helps to liquefy and lubricate the food, breaking down complex starches before the food is moved through the rest of the canal. Of course, in the stomach, acid and enzymes break down the food even more. The acidity levels in the stomach help to destroy any ingested microorganisms and support enzymatic activity. All of this is basically just a more complex form of the same three stages we saw in those single-celled organisms.
Okay, great. So it was a very long audio, right? It was, I think, 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to take a picture of your notes and send it to me to WhatsApp. You can say that send privately or in the group, it's fine. And we're going to see how the rest of you did and see how we took some notes. Okay, so please just take. I know WhatsApp is not working totally proper yet, but please let's just take a a screen picture of your notes and send it to me, to the group. You can send it to the group. I don't think I have them registered yet. Okay, great. Okay, Shanique, thank you. We're gonna take a look. Okay, so we have some notes there. And see very good, but okay. We have org, we have food, ingested, digested, absorbed. Okay, we still see some vocals, right? The idea will be to maybe try to, even if we can, a little shorten a little bit more the words, but it's a great start. It's a great start. We have or here. Hell, I think food will be a little bit weird, right? Just the F and D, maybe we will understand very good. But then here I see no, it's shorter in the words very good. Okay, let's see the next. We have someone else. I think it's Diego. Okay, same. I think you have longer words. Food, chemical. Okay, it looks good, but I think we could shorten a little bit more the words, right? And always, guys, try to write a solo word. Try to don't write the whole sentence because we can usually understand the idea, or maybe we can just use some write or draw some symbols too, right? Or instead of writing 4, I can write a number, right? 4. So, but it looks good. In this case, Diego divided the page or the paper in 4 actually. But if you could do it like 4 in each side, will be better. 4 in each side. So you have smaller pieces, so you can have the ideas divided too, so you can understand better. Especially for the reference type of question, when you kind of have to see the whole idea together. Okay, we're going to see another one. I don't think we have more. Sorry, WhatsApp is not working good. Okay. App serial crush. Yes. Same thing. I don't know what's this. Okay, but still, we can a little bit, try to summarize a little bit more the words. Remember, try to don't write the vocals. Also, somewhere there. Humans. Yes. I think you all guys took great notes. Just, I'm sure you could have taken more if you will have more time, maybe. No? But remember that. And I think that's all. We don't have anyone else. Oops, my bad. Okay. So we're going to stop with this. Now we're going to see the questions. Okay, let's see if we can, we're going to try to answer the questions and try if we can identify the type of questions from this lecture, okay? So let me go back to the practice. Okay, so we basically just listen the whole thing, right? Now we're gonna go to the questions. Okay, let's see if we can try to not necessarily answer, but try to identify the questions. So do you remember the first type of question that we get?
Main idea question.
So basically here is asking us the main topic. What is it? Does anyone want to guess a little bit? Or maybe does anyone have any idea? It doesn't matter if it's not right.
I think it's B.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay. See? Yes, you're right, guys. Great. So you remember this is usually the easiest type of question. Now let's see what do we get. Remember, always is going to be random. It's not in order, like in the reading. This is going to be very, very random. So here is asking us according to the professor. Let's see what type of question is this. According to the professor. I think this will be attitude. What do you think?
I think that is the first one.
Okay, let's see. It doesn't matter. But we're just practicing, right? Let's see. Yes, you were right. Thank you. So let's see. Another type of question. According to the professor. So again, this one is function. Okay, here it doesn't really matter. So what do you think? If you will have to guess, which one will you choose?
The
The
second
third
one.
one.
I think
D.
D. D.
D? Sorry, D or B?
I think the last one, D.
Yes. You are killing it. Let's see. Now we have another type of question. This is a different one. How does the professor organize? So keyword, this is no organized type of question. So, and in this case, we basically have to understand the whole thing. So, what do you think? Here, we don't necessarily have to answer to save some time, but we're going to choose anyone, okay? So, for instance, I will say, I don't know, I won't say just this one, okay? To don't take too much time. Well, it was actually the first one. It's fine. So this one, it was an organized type of question, right? We're going to pay attention more to that. Okay, if we get to listen the audio again, what type of question is it? Does anyone remember?
Function and organizational. Function question.
Great. Yes. Thank you very much. So here it doesn't really matter. But remember, when you get this type of question, you get to listen again. Why? Because it's a little bit more advanced, maybe. So we're going to continue. Then let's see another one. Well, we were wrong. Doesn't matter. Then we have according to the lecture. So when we get according to the question, what type of question does it is? What do you think? It's inference. Is it function, organization, or attitude? What do you think? Oh, in this case, we get to choose two. So according to the lecture, it's going to be
Inference.
inference. Yes, you're right. Okay, so we're gonna continue. Well, I was totally wrong. It's fine. And that's it. No, those are the questions that we got. As you saw, it was very random, and most of them were inference attitude questions. Okay, and obviously we got the first one. And that's all. Okay, so with that, guys, we're going to conclude this session. Do you have any questions so far? With the questions and everything? Okay, I think we're fine. I'm going to launch today's poll. This one, and don't get scared, Marita, but it's going to be basically for the Octar group to see how they are feeling so far about this course, and you also answer it. It's fine. It's a question that you get at the mid of the whole the 6 weeks class. So just answer it, please. It's completely well, you don't get your name shared there. So I'm going to show you, I think. I'm not sure if you can see it. Well, maybe you can. Please, everyone has to answer, especially from the second group. Marita, you also answer it, please. Okay. Okay, I have six people. Yes, we're great. Okay, thank you very much, guys. If you give me 1 second, I have to take a screenshot of this with you guys. Just take 1 second, and then you can hold it. That's all, guys, for today. Thank you very much. Please
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let me know.
Teacher, bye.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.